Hi everybody and welcome to Josiah is Right. So I used to do like thrift store videos and things like that, but haven't done one in a while because we moved to family and anything I had that I had gotten at thrift stores was in storage or went straight to storage. I wasn't doing that much thrift shopping anyway as we sold our old place and transitioned to our current place, which is the new setup here, similar to the old setup. Same exact color on the wall. I love it. It's called Fun Yellow. That was Fun Yellow in the old place. This is Daffodil. Anyway. It's like a comic book yellow, so that's why I like it. But because of that, I haven't been able to go to thrift stores, and then COVID happened. And with little ones, we're not going out and about much. If we're doing anything, it's in and out running errands. But I do want to share with you some thrift store type finds lately. First, an actual thrift store find. I finally got a VCR. I've been trying to hunt one down for a little while now. They're going up in price online because they don't manufacture them anymore. So if you can find one at a thrift store and it's a decent one, you might be able to resell it for something good. I got one for $5 and it does work. So that is exciting. It's not here because it's really pretty heavy. Doesn't seem super old. I did have to buy a remote for it. $5 for the VCR. The remote cost me $8, ironically, a new remote. So that is the only thrift store find because I have not been to any thrift stores in a very long time. Yeah, that was it. That one time, and that was just a few days ago. But what I want to talk about is just some comic books that I've recently picked up. And so these are kind of junk type comic books that a few on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, just wherever they're like cheap, very cheap, and just kind of somewhat interesting to me. So the Alpha Flight one here, this was part of a Facebook lot that I wasn't that interested in, but I don't recall which comic. Let me try to figure out which comics came in that Facebook lot. That's okay. I just figured it out. So the Facebook lot was these 4 comic books. So it was the Alpha Flight one, which is the least interesting to me. I have a lot of Alpha Flight comic books because you used to get them in those quarter bins really cheap. We have Damage Control, which is what I was really interested in, the cap. I want to do a series of these, like potentially as collages of my other life. Check out the links below for Comic Collage. It also has its own YouTube channel, so maybe I'll post this there as well. It is related content. So then you have the Nick Fury one. This is the least interesting to me in terms of collage potential, but this is really good. And there's more Damage Control comics I'll show you. But I think the one that really hooked me from the eBay lot was this. So it's just one of those Marvel encyclopedia type books. So it's not the insides, whatever. But I have cut these small comic panels out before and made really cool, like different aspects of my collage. These really turn out nice. But this is why I got it. This awesome Galactus, Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, Epics, like the horizontal spread. This will make for a great collage. I just really think this will be really cool. So maybe I would fill it in with some of those comic book panels and that would be what you would see. But the other comics I intend to keep, but this one for that reason I think would make a great collage. But I also want to keep it. But it's not a real comic. It's one of those weird encyclopedia-ish type things. So here we have, this was an eBay comic that was really cheap, and I'm a big fan of Uncle Scrooge, and that's all that is. So it's got Donald and what's the evil girl's name? My DuckTales knowledge is escaping me, but it's just cool to me because such a fan of DuckTales that DuckTales, what it is just the name of the show, but all those concepts predate it epically. And the modern DuckTales is really good, Mom. Watch the modern DuckTales, even though the animation style you might not like. I like the old animation style too, but the content in that show is really good. So, these are the Damage Control comics that I really like. Spider-Man one especially, because, you know, the Damage Control, I think there is something Disney Plus maybe? Am I going crazy? Forgive me. But Damage Control with Spidey, it's like, it's all yours, guys. And then the Doctor Doom one, less interesting to me, but then the Iron Man one, super interesting to me. So this was another eBay lot that was pretty cheap, but I really wanted it. I think it's a 4-issue series, or was the other one a 4-issue series? I really wanted it for the first and the third, because I love those covers. Oh yeah, it's a 4-issue limited series. And I'm missing number 4. Is this number 4 for that series? Because there's a couple different Damage Control series. Oh yeah, here's number 4. So I do have the whole series. So that was probably part of what prompted me. So I guess this is a follow-up limited series? I gotta look into that. I did not even realize that. There you go. I remember reading some of those as a kid, but I never read the whole series, and maybe I was reading from multiple series and confusing myself. Now this set is cool, so I did a separate video on Comic Collage, so check out what I did on Comic Collage about how each of these can become $5 credit. Any comic you send me can $5 credit towards Comic Collage. Link below to that video, link to everything I do with Comic Collage. But this isn't about Comic Collage, this is about probably being very reflective with my lights. A little bit reflective. So we have Magneto here, great comic, great cover. These are all comics that my good buddy Ryan Van Horn sent me, and I didn't know Ryan was ever remotely into comics as a kid. I really didn't. And I was like hardcore into comics at the time. We were friends, right? We became closer friends though after like high school time. Like we were friends since 2nd grade, but really became close friends middle school and then particularly in high school, and we just hung out nonstop. Other than when he went to band practice and I went home. I did plays and stuff too for a bit. So Avengers, like the cool thing about what Ryan gave me is these are like aside from the Deadpool and the Magneto, he has the entire Blood Ties series. So it's really cool to revisit some of this stuff. You have issue 1, there's Quicksilver and what's the daughter's name? Crystal from I don't remember the kid's name, but Crystal, Scarlet Witch, WandaVision, man, that show. So we have that one. We have number 2 of that series. These are great. These are really cool comics that would make great collages. So again, check out that artwork. I don't want to break up the series now though. Then they get less interesting cover wise. And then this crazy chrome, very 90s chromey, which I like. It's funny looking at as a kid, I probably would have been drooling over this, but looking at it now, I just wish it was just the image, so that I could see these characters, Crystal and Quicksilver, and what's that guy's name? It's like the X-Men baddie. Exodus. So Exodus there as a very 90s villain. Cool looking though. Cool looking for the 90s. I don't remember him much. I remember this comic, but I don't think I read the rest of the series because Ryan had it all the time, and I could have gone over to his house to read it. But I would have loved just as an image, similar to this one. Just that's would have been awesome. But it's really cool to have a full series of Blood Ties. These would make some great collages, and they're really pimping out RoboCop 3. Yeah, that's the Frank Miller one. I wonder if that has anything to do with why. Directed by Fred Decker too. Oh, I didn't realize that. If you know his credits, he was the guy who wrote Monster Squad with Shane Black, who I am distantly related to. But this is not about RoboCop 3. Interesting to look into that. I read a graphic novel based on the original Frank Miller script. So, oh yeah, it's credited Frank Miller and Fred Decker. So, interested to revisit it. I do think RoboCop 2 is an underrated but broken movie by Irvin Kershner, so check that one out. But anyway, this is not about that. This is just about saying, here's some comic book finds I got, the VCR that I mentioned. So that's the recent stuff. It's not thrift store stuff, but it's kind of the bargain collecting. So hopefully I can do more of these soon. Hopefully get out to thrift stores. Be sure to wear a mask when you go in that store, though. Thank you for watching. Bye.